What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy Flash Speaks back, man, for another one, man, for another game recap. Um, just finished watching that Chicago Sky New York Liberty game. Hey, man, I couldn't have called it. I just thought this would be the regular game. Chicago come out there and get spanked. Even though New York is without Stewie tonight, I still felt like they were gonna lose. They come in 14 point underdogs. But on a night like this, man, this is why you really can't completely just count out players like Angel Reese, Kamilla Cardoso, because on a night like this here, Chicago and New York, where the refs, listen, man, the refs, and I'm not no boy that just complains about refs like that all the time unless it's warranted. But the refs was trying their best to give that game to New York Liberty. The skyscrapers, who am I talking about? That would be Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso, who came to New York City amongst the skyscrapers and just dominated, dominated tonight. Chicago Sky got off to the normal, decent first quarters that they got off to, 22 points in both the first and the second quarter. Um, Whereas New York just scored 23 in each quarter, so you're talking about a halftime just down two. My fear was that third quarter. If somehow they could put together a decent third quarter with not turning the damn ball over too much, they would have a chance. Even though I wasn't giving them much of a chance, I'm not going to hold you. I felt like New York is just such a loaded team. When situations early on with Sabrina and Eskew not even looking for a shot. And one thing I will give credit for Tyler Marsh or whoever it is on the coaching staff that is putting together the defensive strategy, there was a pretty good strategy on Sabrina Nescu when the team decided to be smart, okay, and not have the death lineups, okay, which are Rachel Banham, Kia Nurse, and Rebecca Allen out there at the same time. Okay, which I've been screaming for all year. You got these three players out there. You can guarantee that the opponent will go on a 10-0 run, if not worse. Now they also had the other death lineup, and they were kind of taking Rachel Banham out a little bit, okay, and we'll go with Uzun, okay, and Uzun ain't hardly not better at all, okay. So you got two death lineups now, Nurse Allen, Uzun, or Nurse Allen, Banham. All right, so I'm glad what they're starting to realize is you got to go with Michaela Onyenwere in there. Right, so if you're gonna go with Bantam, you're gonna go Uzun, whatever, or you're gonna go with Allen, you're gonna go with Nurse, you gotta go with Michaela, right? Michaela's not gonna provide you a bunch of 3 point shooting. She'll make some 3 pointers here and there, right? But what she'll do is give you some hustle, and she gives you some size, length, girth, like size and girth. Those things are very important in games like this, where they get physical and where it gets mucked up and becomes a dirty game. Chicago's not going to win pretty games. They don't have pretty players, but I mean pretty games to their players. What they got is they got tough players. They got players that get down to the floor type players. That's their identity. Teresa Witherspoon was able to recognize that last year, and she played to that. And because that fits her personality, she was able to have a much better team than we have now. Right, this year the identity was pretty much never found. Even now, they still don't have the identity. There were times in this game, especially towards the end of the game, we talking about the fourth quarter, where the game was in the balance. New York had got like a little 4 point lead, they had a little bit of lead, and what you saw was Rachel Banham running a lot of minutes. Okay, Michaela was out. Yeah, Rachel Banham in there, along with Rebecca Allen, right? And it wasn't working. Okay, he waits till there's almost 3 minutes left to put Michaela in there. When Michaela's in there, she does a better job on a lot of the forwards that the that New York has, and those things make a difference. Sometimes you have to not strategize for offense, but strategize for defense, and it still comes up. Tyler Marsh, this is what I'm getting. Tyler Marsh, his belief, I believe, not that I heard him say this, but based off of the personnel that he puts in at critical times, I believe Tyler Marsh, and I'm still watching this Minnesota Atlanta game. That's why my eyes is kind of rolling up there a little bit. It's on the seesaw right now in the fourth quarter. But I believe that Tyler Marsh believes that games are won and lost at the 3 point line. That's what I believe he believes. This is why towards the end of the game, he has Michaela out, and he has what Rachel Bannerman in there along with Rebecca Allen at in that fourth quarter. And during that time, the team was just horrible. The only thing that was keeping us going was the play of two consistent players, and you can add Ariel Atkins as well. But it was Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso. So anyway, Angel Reese on limited minutes. Okay, we're talking about on a minute restriction right now. Comes out there, not aggressive in that first couple quarters or whatever, but she turns it up later on. 6 of 9 from the field, only 9 shots, 21 points. Got to 21 points. Got to the free throw line, made with 90%, made 9 of her 10 free throws. Okay, these were all legit free throws. This ain't no BS. Just get it to the line type of stuff, right? Um, Camila Cardoso though was a monster tonight. Okay, 22 and 15, 5 assists. She was dishing. She was dishing tonight, and I'm glad to see this because this is a part of Camila Cardoso's game that we haven't seen a lot. Um, probably since her days in South Carolina, we haven't really seen a lot of it, and this is good because this is the best way for her and Angel Reese if they're going to move forward with this as the cornerstone. It's very good. They pass amongst each other really well. This is something that you saw, when you had skyscraper type of lineups, like with the Boston Celtics, with Parrish and McHale. You know, very good at passing the ball amongst each other. Also with Larry Bird out there, one of the best passes the league has ever seen as well. So if this is what your lineup is going to be, it helps that you have great passes. Angel Reese is a great passer, and Camila Cardoso is great passes. Both great passes for bigs. Ariel Atkins was very solid as well. 19 points, 6 of 9 from the field. This is one thing that's really good. Nobody took an overwhelming amount of shots. There was a lot of good ball sharing there, but there was some knuckleheaded stuff that on the part of some of the players. Like Rachel Bantam was horrible tonight. 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from three. She's a player that when she ain't got it going, you might as well take her out. She's useless. She's not going to do anything but get cooked on defense. And she's not going to provide any hustle, none of that type of stuff. Same thing I would say for Kia Nurse. Um, Kia Nurse was absolutely, again, atrocious with 2 points. Uzun, who I don't know, some of y'all act like y'all like. I don't know why. I don't know what you see in her. She was atrocious as well, providing 3 points, no defense, turning the goddamn ball over. I don't understand. And then we talking about egregious turnovers. Okay, so now with New York, we can go and talk about New York as well. Jonquil Jones was a monster as usual, 25 points, 7 rebounds. You also had good games from Sabrina Ionescu, who I'm glad she really tried. She wasn't really consistent in this game. I would say McLeod and who was the other shooter? Johannes early in the game. I thought she was going to score freaking 30 points, right? So she kind of cooled off towards the second half where they weren't going to her. Um, I would say a couple of things are the reason New York lost the game. Number one was the consistency of Angel Reese Camilla Cardoso, but also when you got in the important parts of the game, the pivotal moments, New York was implementing a very stupid strategy. I felt like they were shooting too many 3 pointers. You got big ass Jonquil Jones. I don't know why they don't go to her in the post more. I don't know why she's not like using that little fadeaway that she has from baseline and different things like that. I don't get. I don't know why there isn't more McLeod driving to the lane. I don't know why Sabrina is not going to the middies a lot. Why she's not going to the floater. She's excellent in those different things. They just started shooting 3 pointers. I don't know if they were like looking at the scouting report and that Chicago is one of the worst at guarding a 3 pointer, whatever. But this is the way basketball seems to be going. They think this shit is smart. I think it's retarded, but that's what they're doing, and I think this had a lot to do with them losing. Shot selection. Like I guess they looked at the fact they made 10 3 pointers in the first half, Chicago would make maybe 2 or 3, right? So that was the only reason they had a lead. Chicago was playing actually better basketball than them. Were much better from the field in the first half. New York were counting on threes. Maybe at halftime they're looking at this and they're saying, okay, threes are what we're going to use to win this game. It got them. It got their ass whooped tonight. It's playing soft. It gets you less free throw shots, right? It's a very stupid strategy to me. But you know, hey, I'm the old geezer that's telling people to get the hell off my lawn, as the people say. So whatever. New York Liberty lost tonight to a team they should not be losing to. So they dropped to 22-14. Where Chicago now is won their ninth game. Will they still win 10 games for the season? I don't know. But for them, this is really good because this, there's no chance of going to the playoffs. All of that is done. But what they can do now is end on a high note. Going into the next season, considering what they're going to do. I think the changes go way deeper than just we got plenty of time to talk about it, but just briefly, I think the changes go deeper than just personnel. I think there really has to be some changes at the coaching staff level, as well as definitely the front office, but, we'll see what happens with that. Shout out to Angel Reese, shout out to Kamilla Cardoso, shout out to Ariel Atkins, Michaela Onyenwere, and all the Chicago Sky who really came through, contributed. Also, who am I missing? He will. Solid game coming off the bench. 8 points, right? And, hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that, man. Uh, Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that. Like the way Angel played, like the way Kamilla played, you know. So, I'll get with you all later, man. Peace out.